hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. And today, of course, we are going to talk about Arsenal versus Ipswich 1-0 win, a total Snoozefest, if you ask me. Pretty much, must say, slept pretty well after the game because that was boring as game. But at the same time, it was also a very annoying game, to say the least. And it was very frustrating to watch. At the same time, we got some news on Bukayo Saka, which is not looking too good. It's not, no, I can't say it even too good. It's looking very bad. Let's just put it that way, especially for Arsenal, since we are Saka FC. And of course, there is still the big question: will Arsenal sign anyone in this January transfer window? And is Arteta under any pressure whatsoever? Because the way he was acting also after yesterday's game doesn't look that way whatsoever. So we're gonna discuss all that, maybe some bits and bobs here or there as well. But of course, if you're new around here, don't forget to smash thumbs up. Don't forget to like the things, share it around, everything. Subscribe if you're new around here, of course. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat, and if you're watching this as a playback, leave your thoughts down in comments below. And yeah, let's see what it does. Big up BX Gunner in the chat, big up my guy, big up. Hope you're doing well, hope you're doing fantastically well. How are you feeling after yesterday's game? How are you feeling after yesterday's game? Because I'm not gonna lie, I am caught in between about 70 different minds because of this. So I think what we're gonna start off today, which is very uncharacteristic for this stream, is we're gonna do it with Conman music. We're gonna start with some Conman music. Arteta's pre-match and post-match interview after the game against Ipswich Town. Underwhelming is an oh dude, it's bad. It's very bad because starting 11, I was cool with the backline, I was cool with the goalkeeper, midfield partially, Havertz again shoehorned in the 8th. Merino of course doesn't play, of course, so why the hell did we sign him for? We have signed Calafiori, so he doesn't play as well. We might try to play Lewis Skelly, which I'm all for. I'm all for playing Miles Lewis Skelly, for example. But the fact that how much money we have spent on the left backs and everything is just embarrassing. And of course the attack. Martinelli on the right wing, no idea what he was doing there. Trossard on the left wing, what the hell he was doing there, I'm not gonna lie. And of course, Jesus at striker, what the hell he was doing there. Because I'm not gonna lie, none of the players pretty much made me very excited after yesterday's performance. I will admit that, for example, Timber was very good, Rice was very decent, Skelly was decent, but besides that, I'm not gonna lie, it was embarrassing. It was a very embarrassing game in general. It's Ipswich Town at home, and around 65th, 67th minute we are shutting up shop against Ipswich Town at home while being 1-0 up. And then to kind of add on top of that, for the last 20 minutes, we see us wasting time at the corner flag. We give the ball to Martinelli or Havertz and they just go straight to the corner flag and are trying to hold up the play. It's generally embarrassing. We looked very toothless, very embarrassing. Saka is out for 2+ months. So that will be very exciting to see, in quotation marks, of course. That's what happens when you don't have proper backups, when you don't invest money properly, when you don't sign the players you need. You rely solely on 11, maximum 13 players throughout the whole season. Each of them play around 70 games a season, and after 4 or 5 years, they start to get injured. Shocking display of things, isn't it? Just shocking display of things, because that genuinely what it has happened. Because people can say, oh, it's just coincidence and everything, but ultimately it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. At some point, the penny had to drop, and that is it. That was it at the end of the day. We look flyer than 5-day-old ball. Exactly. Genuinely, it's like Pepsi. You open it up, you technically close it after 5 days. It's basically like, I don't know what even that is. I don't even want to drink it anymore. It's going to be long, 6 months to the finish line. Oh, don't even get me started, because this month we are playing some very big games. We are playing Spurs, United, Newcastle, I meant. We are playing Newcastle. Our next 2 games is against Brentford away and Brighton away. Those 2 games alone are hell on earth. Then we have Newcastle at home, then we have Man United at home in the cup. And I'm not gonna lie, without Saka, it's looking even bleaker than it was looking before. I'm not gonna lie, because I know we call ourselves Saka FC and we get called Saka FC, but ultimately that is the truth. Because he is the only guy in our team who can on consistent basis do something in the game. Rest of the players are just, if we're lucky, they have a performance. That's how it feels like. And Odegaard, for example, yesterday, I'm not gonna do player ratings today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do player ratings today. But Odegaard, for me, for yesterday's performance, gets a 2. What did he do on the pitch? I have no idea. He had 2 shots. One hit the OZ. The other one somehow went backwards towards our own net. He couldn't pass the ball. He was holding up the play. He got shoved off the ball. Only thing I saw him do is doing arm waves, fixing his hair, and blowing his nose into his armpit. That's everything I saw from him yesterday. And that wasn't just a one-off, it's on consistent basis as well. And that is something. He's our creative spark. He's the one that's gonna do everything. That's who has made us to tick. And once he comes back, we're gonna be even better and everything. But ultimately, it's not it. He is not the guy we're gonna rely on now that Saka is out to carry us over the line. He's not it. And he's not gonna be it ever. Let's be real. Because even the biggest Odegaard fans, if you look at his highlights, if you look what he's doing on the pitch and everything, most of his highlights are dribbling sideways or backwards. It's not even pushing forward. One time he decided to take initiative and push forward, and instantly it was a dangerous chance. Why doesn't he do that on a consistent basis? I have no idea. This number 10 spot for Arsenal is, how to say this, is like Katy Perry, hot and cold basically. If Arsenal are hot, that number 10 spot is on fire. If Arsenal are cold, he might as well not be on the pitch. That's how I see it, because we need someone who is even hot when the rest of the team is cold. And we don't have that. We need more directness, more initiative, more attacking, more everything. That's what Ethan Van brings to the team. And Arteta still doesn't play him. Yesterday he didn't see the pitch. We made 2 subs by 89th, 90th minute. 2 subs in 90 minutes against Ipswich at home. I was saying Arsenal were gonna win 3-1. Dude, if we were playing even now, we wouldn't have scored a 3rd goal by now. Yeah, and Ipswich never looked like they're gonna score. We had total domination in that regard. But the way we were attacking, basically that was like watching the game against Everton. Only difference, we managed to somehow nick a goal. That was the only difference. Because otherwise, it was copy-paste game. It was a copy-paste game, pretty much. Losing Odegaard was manageable. Losing Saka, pretty much, yeah. We can live without Odegaard. And that just proves, as sometimes he tends to be decent for the team or good for the team, we can live without him. That, as weird as it sounds. We cannot live as an Arsenal team without Bukayo Saka. And that is the biggest issue here. And now we are 3 days away from January transfer window opening up. And if you ever needed a reason to go out and spend money in this transfer window, you just got it. At the worst time, for the arguably the worst player imaginable to get injured in Bukayo Saka. But maybe there will be some blessing in disguise and we actually are gonna go and sign someone proper. The thing is though, do I trust this ownership to sign like a proper big name that basically brings in instant impact into the team as he gets purchased? I'm not gonna lie, no I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't. And to some extent as well, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even want the Cronkies to sanction any money to Arteta. I want Arteta gone, and then you can give the money you would have given to Arteta, given to the new manager. That's how I would do it. Because all of this, genuinely, all of this, coming second, finishing not good enough, all these injuries, small squad, is solely on Arteta and Edu. Edu is gone, yes, we have to still mention him, but that is strictly on Arteta and nobody else. Because for 800 million spent, you would think you actually have a decent squad to play with. But you actually don't. 2 injuries, and you instantly start panic mode. All of a sudden, Partey is playing right back, Timber is playing left back, Declan Rice is playing number 8, 6, Merino is in the 10, and everything. It's just not it. It genuinely is just not it, ultimately. But hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Arsenal are like a social experiment. And basically, by default, is how much pain Arsenal fans can endure until they're had enough. Just wish more people had enough, were having enough. Big up Marlon missing Saka button. We missing everyone's button. I'm not gonna lie, we were shocking yesterday, to say the least. I would give 3 players were decent yesterday. Out of all, how many? 15? No, 14 who saw the pitch. 14? Not even 14, 13. Only 3 players were decent. Rest of them were utter crap. And Odegaard was arguably one of, if not the worst one. For the expectations we have for him at this stage, for the team, for the place where we are, and in the situation where we are, he was by mile the worst one. Odegaard can't even finish no more what had happened. Exactly. He took a shot yesterday and it fucking went backwards to our own net. How do you even manage that? I play FIFA, EAFC. I tend to red time a timed shot and then it still goes forward. How can you take a shot and it goes backwards to your own net? It's genuinely insane. I can afford these mistakes, and I did as a half amateur player, like everything. I had those issues when I was training and everything, but not for Odegaard, let's be real. No one can finish, exactly. Nobody can finish, nobody can create. Half the time nobody can pass, no urgency, and then by the 65th minute we start to waste time. We shut up shop, we take off Jesus, we sub on Merino, we park the bus almost, it feels like. Towards the end part of the game, it again felt like Ipswich got a bit more control of the game again. It felt like it's going to be the same old Arsenal. And then for the rest of the game, you'll see Arsenal going to the corner flags and waste time. Like, what the hell is that about? It's against Ipswich, a team that's more or less guaranteed to be relegated this season. Last in the league and everything. And we are parking the bus against them. What the hell is all that about? What are we doing here? Like, I just have no words to explain all of this. Everyone's forgotten how to shoot. I don't know if it's Arteta not wanting players to shoot, but nobody knows how to shoot the damn ball these days. They just don't shoot. Anyways, let's see what Arteta had to say after the Ipswich game. On the overall performance, I'm very happy with the victory, with the clean sheet, with the big parts of the game. It's a really difficult opposition. We're playing so many games. You see that teams are winning for very small margins. Today we could have done the margins much bigger. At the end we didn't. But we held our nerves in the last few minutes. You know that I'm already falling asleep, but I just started reading this crap. To defend well in our areas that we had to do, I'm very, very happy. Dude, there are 31 days in January, and we have 9 games. 9 games for us in January. So on average, we play every 3.5 days we have a game. With Saka's injury, having 22-man squad when everyone's fit, by the way, now that we have about 3-4 players injured, right? We have even smaller squad and we need under 20s, Premier League 2 players on our bench. How is that gonna work out? How is that gonna work out? Heck, only thing good about that match was Exactly. Luis Skelly was decent. Well, good. Timber was decent. Rice was somewhat good. And that's more or less about it. Arteta's poor dictatorship is... Dude... It's not just poor dictatorship, it's just utter mess at this stage. It's pure chaos, and not the good type of chaos, like it's under Klopp or something like that. It's just chaos when nobody knows what's going on. Head Tomiyasu is fit, God is... Dude, I don't trust this. Until I see him on the pitch play a full 90, I don't trust these things. Tomiyasu is fit, oh my god. Good! Saka is out for 2+ months, so that's gonna go well. On whether the team should have scored more. More. And today we had some big openings as well in the second half when we were a little bit more stretched. Sounds a bit 18, zesty 18 plus type of situation happening, but I'm just not gonna comment on that. They were a little bit more aggressive. The big header of Gabi as well. Yeah, Gabriel should have scored that goal, that header. He should have scored that. I'm not gonna cap. That should have been a goal. So we should have scored more, but it's the consistency. The team conceded nothing again. It's hard to concede when other team doesn't attack. Like, seriously. The Ipswich again, similarly like Everton, came to Emirates to get a point. They never posed almost any threat whatsoever for Arsenal. Like, that's about it. And we were lucky that we scored with Havertz in the first half. Because if we didn't, then it could have been another Everton story at the end of the day. Easily, because the game, the way it went, the scenario, the script, everything was pretty much there copy-paste. Copy-paste. Only difference was that we got one goal. We somehow managed to score a goal in the first half. On any further news on Bukayo Saka, I would prefer to leave that to the doctor himself, but he had the procedure, everything went well, but unfortunately he will be out for many, many weeks. And today it's been confirmed that he's gonna be out for at least 2 months. So Arsenal, where was it? Where did I read this? Where was it? Here we go. Mikel Arteta, Bukayo Saka will be out for many, many weeks. Probably more than 2 months. He underwent surgery. Now it depends how the scar tissue starts to heal. The mobility of that. And on top of that, it is there. Then there comes out these news. Oh no, that's the wrong one. And here it is. Arteta suggested the layoff could be more than 2 months, but it is understood that they still hope to have him back by the end of February. So basically what this means, if there is any indication that he is progressing very well or a bit ahead of schedule, he's gonna force him back. Pretty much that's what it says. Because otherwise I don't see any reason at the moment whatsoever to kind of bring him back. Because the league is done, the cups are done, Champions League is done, we might as well pack it up. Because I said this already before, that even with Bukayo Saka, we were not good enough. And now without Bukayo, it's pretty much done and dusted. Let's be real. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not give out false hope. If Saka is out for 2 months, if not more, we are done. We are cooked. There is no coming back. Unless Arsenal, by goddamn miracle, actually go and spend money, a big proper money, on a proper player in January. The thing is though, Arsenal need in January to sign a player who comes in and provides instant impact. Do I have trust in this ownership, in this Lego-headed buffoon, to actually sign someone like that? No, I don't. Because I've seen this before in every single window. So basically, we are done. We genuinely are done. Can't none of our forwards finish, not even Nelly can finish. What can Gordon do without Saka? If we don't sign 2 attackers, we are cooked. We are cooked already. We are not signing 2 attackers for sure. Heck, personally, I will take any attacker right now. Just sign. I don't. That is the thing. For me, the way Arsenal are moving currently, we are not winning the league. Top 4, more chances than not we're gonna get no matter what. So in a way, you could make an argument that there is no reason for us to invest money in January as well. There is also that argument to be made. And on top of that, since I want Arteta out, personally, I wouldn't give Arteta any single penny whatsoever. I would sack Arteta, and the money that would have gone to Arteta, I would have given to the new manager. That's what I would have done. Because with 800 million spent, in phase 5, we still cannot beat low block. We have to rely on one goal. We are still, after 800 million, relying on a player we promoted from Hale End in Bukayo Saka after 5 years. And our main threat, 90% of the time, are set pieces. It's not coming together. It is genuinely not coming together. And then last summer I had to watch Arsenal spend 80 million to sign Mikel Merino and Zucchini Cauliflower. Come on, man. Saka is out till end of February, at least. Ain't nobody finishing in the box, nobody can even say... Exactly, it's nobody inside the box, outside the box, on top of the box, or below the box. Nobody can take a shot on target. Bro, better buy 2 damn attackers or else he fine again. Dude. Big up Nathan, big up Nathan in the chat. Bro, even Merino came on and took a shot on target. Exactly, Merino came on and instantly had a shot on target. None of our players could done that. Merino, exactly. A player I didn't want at Arsenal at all, yet he came on and did more than most of our players for the full 90. And I still am shocked that I didn't see Wanyeri come on. Because this was the game that was screaming for Wanyeri. Because teams that park the bus and low mid blocks, everything, are very dominant in those instances when you play very low, very slow possession type football like Martin Odegaard wants to play. Because he doesn't know how to play, it feels like other way anymore. Ethan Wanyeri plays completely straight opposite. He plays direct, straightforward, attacking, dribbling, and going forwards. And that is arguably the best way with quick passing how to beat these mid-low blocks. But Arsenal don't want to play that. Arteta doesn't want to play that. So what are we doing here? Martinelli played with Odegaard and Timber still did so though. Yeah, Martinelli has to go. I'm sorry, but he's been here for 6 years. For 6 goddamn years he's been at Arsenal. And pretty much he hasn't progressed at all in the last, I would say 3-4 years. He hasn't progressed whatsoever. He has the same dribbling, same skills, same movements, same things he does every single game. Nothing new in his arsenal, no pun intended. And yeah, maybe he's a bit more bulky, but otherwise he's done nothing else. He genuinely has done nothing else. For me, he's done. He is genuinely done and dusted. Goodbye, sweet prince. Only thing about this match was Skelly. Yeah, pretty much. Simba, Skelly, those two were the best ones. Then you can have, I don't know, Bronze Star to Declan Rice or something like that, and that's about it. If Wanyeri came on at right wing, we would have scored. I think if Wanyeri came on, we would have been much more dangerous in the attack, 100%. But hey, there is the thing. No matter how everything is going, Arteta is still strictly refusing to play together Odegaard and Wanyeri. And it doesn't matter whether Wanyeri is to play right wing or number 10 or what. As wild as it sounds. Anyways, back to this interview. On Raheem Sterling's fitness. Yes, the news with Raz. What the hell is a Raz? The news with Raz. What the hell is that? Raz. Sounds like an illness or something like that. Oh, he's got the Raz. Yeah, he's got the Raz. Take a few weeks off and you'll be fine. We have to see this week how he evolves. Oh, he's evolving again. The Raz is evolving. Is it a Pokemon then? Raz evolves into Razaroth. I don't know. Something stupid like that. Not sure what Arteta is even talking about there. But we expected the knee to probably take longer than actually to take knee evolving. Knee now is evolving. First of all, Raz is evolving. Now his knee is evolving. What the hell is this about? So hopefully the good because we need him. Martinelli playing on the right. As I said, I think the replacement of I assume that's Bukayo, of B. What the hell? What is he talking about? There is Raz, there is B. What about playing players by their proper names? It's going to be the team, you know, and that unit is particular and having minutes together and asking different things and doing that. There was moments that it flowed really well. There were moments that we still have some work to do and improve to adapt the qualities of the individuals, and I'm certain that we are going to do that. Okay, cool. Cool story, bro. Genuinely cool story, bro. We only have one attacker on the bench. We don't even have one attacker on the bench, arguably. No depth. Exactly. We haven't signed an attacker in 3 years, but who needs an attacker, right? Bro, we only have about 3 attackers, even 4. Exactly. Forest have better attacking force than Arsenal. Also, can he drop Havertz instead of this midfield gimmick? Brentford are not scrubbed. That's the thing. 65 million. After 1.5 years, he still feels that he needs to justify signing Kai Havertz. Hence why he is playing him. I'm strongly starting to believe that there is some sort of clauses in Havertz's contract that state that he needs to play certain amount of games no matter what, or Arsenal have to pay some increased amount in. For example, he gets extra 200 grand in bonuses for playing, let's just say, 45 games a season. If he doesn't play 45 games a season, he plays less, Arsenal needs to play 500 grand because they are not utilizing and they are not fulfilling their promises. And I strongly believe there is something like that in his contract because there is no other logical explanation why this donkey starts every single flipping game. And it doesn't matter whether it's at striker, whether it's as an 8, whether it's gonna be right wing. I 100% can guarantee you at one of the games he's gonna be playing right wing. One of the games it's gonna be that. 100%. When is just a matter of time. We have Brentford next on January 1st. Then we have Brighton, by the way, of all teams. And then we have Newcastle as well in the Cup. You'll think any of those teams, with Havertz in the midfield, it's gonna be fun time? Bro, better sign someone damn attackers on things he's gonna do. Exactly. We need to sign attackers. Will we sign attackers? Doesn't look that way still. Start Vanjeri with Odegaard, ain't gonna kill you. Exactly. Start Odegaard with Vanjeri. Maybe try that. Try Odegaard in the 8, Vanjeri in the 10. Vanjeri as a right wing, Odegaard in the 10. Try something. But we still have... It's mad that Vanjeri has played the full preseason and Odegaard was injured. He didn't play at all pretty much. We still haven't seen Odegaard play together with Vanjeri a one full 90 single game, as wild as it sounds. Yet Arteta likes to boast about the fact that Vanjeri can play right wing, number 8, number 10. Technically he sees him as a number 9 in 2-3 years and everything. It's insane, genuinely insane. On whether tonight was a more satisfying result than Palace. In terms of how well we control the position, 10 times, because we conceded 14 or 15 shots against Palace, and it's nothing that we normally do. So overall, I think this was much better. Bro, it's Ipswich at home. It's fucking Ipswich at home. Calm down. But it's about the goals as well, and the beauty of it, entertaining people, and that one probably was better for them. On whether tonight was okay. On the timeline on Saka's absence, I said many weeks, so I think he'll be more than 2 months. So I think it will be more than 2 months. So he will be back after February. I don't know exactly how much longer. I think it will depend, how the scar tissue, blah, 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 the mobility of that. Let's see. It's very difficult to say. I beg he doesn't force him back. Genuinely, he doesn't force him back. Because Arteta has this instinct. Play Declan Rice with broken toe. Play... White, who needs a surgery for half a year, to play him, to play Odegaard when he shouldn't be playing. He has this necessity to play these injured players and sometimes force them back when needs must. And if he does this with Bukayo Saka, there is a big possibility he will cook him more than it will help him. We might see to another Tomiyasu situation where one injury turns into another 2 months or 3 months of injury. On how our defense shape will change with players missing. Well, it's always important because... Why? Because of Bukayo Saka being injured, should our defensive shape change? Isn't it bad enough that you have spent about 300-400 million on defense alone and you still are forcing your attackers to cover their asses? Isn't that enough already? Like, seriously, isn't that enough already? It's bad enough that you force our attackers to defend first and then only attack. But you're reshaping things, redoing things because attacker is injured. That's why you're going to change your defense. How dumb you have to be. Like, genuinely, it's utter stupidity to the maximum level, in my opinion. Utter stupidity, to say the least. So we have to rely on the team. That's the biggest strength of us. We never rely on an individual scoring 25-30 goals. Oh, here we go. The moron has spoken. The moron has spoken. We never rely on an individual scoring 25, 30 goals, and we have managed to be very, very competitive still. And we are going to manage to do that. Holy crap! He said this in 22-23 season. We don't need a striker because we share the goals around. Last year, after losing to Bayern Munich, he said, oh, we don't have a striker who can score 20 plus goals. He had 2 windows to fix that. He obviously did fuck all of that. And now he says, oh, we never rely on an individual scoring 20, 30 goals. I'm kind of baffed. I'm genuinely kind of baffed. This guy is lying through his teeth, to say the least. We never rely on individuals scoring 25, 30 goals. Like, what the hell am I reading? I understand that you can get past teams most of the time because it's Arsenal. You can get past teams like, obviously, like Crystal Palace, Brentford, Brighton to some extent. Not Fulham recently, but in general, you should be like Fulham, Ipswich, Southampton, although that is also a different story. Without having a 20-30 goal striker, you can get by those. You genuinely can. But how about these 25-30 goal strikers when you need them the most? How about last year against 10-man Fulham when we drew at Emirates? How about a striker against Fulham when we lost to them? How about against West Ham when we should have been winning 3-0 at half-time, yet we lost that game 2-0? How about the game against Aston Villa at home, which we should have won by half-time 4-5-0, yet we lost the game 2-0? How about those games when you actually matters the most, you don't have a guy up top with clinical ability to carry over the line? How about those games? Because I'm sitting here, I'm reading this, and he says we don't need a striker, we don't rely on those. So you don't rely on Bukayo Saka getting 20 plus GA every single season because you don't have any other answer in attack. Because once Saka goes, we are screwed, and we saw that yesterday. Like, you don't rely on that? Genuinely, you want to tell me that you don't rely on that? You don't rely on these things. And then I'm sitting here, I'm watching non-context TV, right, on X. If you know, you know. And I'm watching Turkish, big up Turkish by guy, stand-up guy, talk to Julian, and Julian says, we don't need a 20 plus goal striker. Arsenal should sign, and I kid you not, Mateta from Crystal Palace. Like, this PR from Arsenal is so insane that most of the people have eaten it up like it's breakfast. They're holding on to it like it's Holy Bible. No insults intended if you're religious and everything. But it's, for Arsenal fans, this PR, Arteta waffle, utter stupidity, to say the least. You know, get me off this screen. Utter crap. Utter crap, to say the least. Man, I cannot. Even Odegaard himself wants to play with them. I would assume so. The biggest issue also in this instance is, we were reading comments that apparently Manieri is learning from Martin Odegaard Arsenal tactics and everything. If he learns from Odegaard how to be useless in the creative department half the time, there will be some stuff going on. What the freaking problem? You want to suddenly look watching us play, we look like crap. Dude, Thierry Henry is even calling out Arsenal. Thierry Henry is even calling out Arsenal and Arteta. Santi Cazorla watching us and see probably is ashamed and everything. Yet we have John Legend with his wife, Chrissy Teigen in the stands. Then you have, after the game, John Legend singing North London Forever, and his wife, Chrissy Teigen, in Chelsea shirt, which she covered with an Ipswich scarf, sitting in the stands at the Emirates. I'm not gonna lie, that was pissing me off today. She rocked up in a Chelsea shirt, covered it with Ipswich scarf, and then John Legend sings North London Forever. Like, what the hell is that about? Bro, if Thierry Henry comes to watch us one of these days and see us playing, he's already roasting everyone. He did that on, where was it? Sky Sports? Where was it? He already called out Arteta and everyone else on TNT Sports. Somewhere he did that. Exactly. We need attackers to score. Oh, let's window shop. Yeah. Man, use a window shopper. Mad at me. I don't know why. Arsenal's a window shopper. 50-cent settings. Alexis. Oh, dude. That's the thing. You can name these names, but Arsenal, in this window in January, if they want to have any prey whatsoever, they need to sign a player who has instant impact in the first game already. He needs to come in and click like that instantly. We need to forget this PR nonsense. Oh, he's still young. He needs 2 weeks. He needs a year to get sell in the league. We need a player who comes in and instantly sets the league on fire and carries the team. That is the biggest issue. Because that's what Saka does for Arsenal. He carries the team. Yes, he has shit performances at quite a few times, but he still has shit performances. Yet despite that, he manages to carry the team over the line more often than not. Rest of the players are just standbyers in Saka show, basically. We genuinely Saka FC. Ain't nobody in Arsenal ever even scored 20, never in the top. Ain't nobody in Arsenal ever even scored 20 goals, never in the top scorer list for a big damn. To be honest, the last top scorer for Arsenal was Aubameyang, 32 goals. 32? I think it was 32 goals. He scored 32 goals with Salah and Mane. That was under Emery, first season. He won the Golden Boot together with Mane and Salah. I think that was the last time when we had the 20-plus goal scorer in the team, in the Premier League. I would take him, Nathan. He's way better than B-Tech Neymar. Dude, calling Martinelli a B-Tech Neymar is insult to Neymar. Still. You may call him like a D-Tech, no, not maybe a V-Tech or Z-Tech Neymar, maybe. That would be more closer. Brazilian who has no skill. Joga finito. But I think we should sign Keenan Yildiz or Lookman, the best options to boost our attack. Yildiz is too raw. Pause. But yeah. Baldi Mateta. Moise Keane having an insane season, but doesn't. Yeah, those injuries are yikes. And he was in Premier League at Everton and everything. I don't think he's it. He also is quite inconsistent at times at finishing. But Fiorentina are flying this season, that's for sure. Banjon, damn Yankees, exactly. We won't get Lookman. He's actually winning. Exactly, that's the thing. He's actually winning with Atlanta. He actually won last year with Atlanta. He always roasting us. Why can't we do better? Why? Exactly. That is the thing. Thierry Henry calls it as it is. And yet these top gooners, thanks to this PR, Arteta sexuals, Arteta OnlyFans, have the nerve to come out with statements like Thierry Henry is jealous of Mikel Arteta's coaching career and stuff like that. I kid you not, it's on social media. You can go Google it, you will see it. You can search on X, you will find it genuinely. I think Gordon is the only winger we can do that. Prem proven. Buemo, I feel like will still. Yeah, that could be the case. Buemo could be a possibility that Buemo still needs to adjust. Gordon, and that's about it. That's where it stops. You're gonna look at it in a second. Saka FC. Who will sign though? Colomwani. Dude, don't even. No Colomwanis, no Rashfords, nothing. Exactly, I know. They are dissing Henry, man. Bro, I'm tired of us signing outcast football players and trying. Exactly, that is the case. We are basically like, what's it? Make-A-Wish Foundation. Genuinely, we are Make-A-Wish, or something like that. In 20 years, we will still talk about Henry and nobody will know. Exactly. In 20 years, it will be 2045. Let's assume, right? We will still remember Henry that knee slide, the winning the league at the White Hart Lane, Thierry Henry goals, Dennis Bergkamp flick against Newcastle and everything. We will still remember that. In 20 years, 100%, if you ask me at this day, I still will not name you the most important goal for Kai Havertz at Arsenal. As soon as someone mentions me in 20 years, Kai Havertz used to play at Arsenal, at this stage definitely, I will hang my head in shame, genuinely, because Kai Havertz is playing for Arsenal. That's how bad it is. We did it with Willian and Solskjaer. 3-point lane, exactly. Shite hard lane. It is what it is. Anyways, let's look at some other news. Let's stop this, but it's still regarding yesterday's game. Dan Potts, big up Potsy. Big up Dan Potts. He said, this is right when came out the news about Saka being out for months. I don't want to hear how January is tough to buy players as nobody is available. If you really believe Gyökeres, Osimhen, Marmoush, Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, João Pedro, Semenyo or Kudus are all unavailable, then you must think either we are skint or we spend our money terribly in past windows. This is either or. Either we are broke or we have wasted all the money. One of the two. And that kind of coincides. But let's be real. No player is unavailable. Okay, ultimately there are players that are unavailable, but those are world-class players that most teams won't let go. But pretty much every single player and most of the managers are available. You just need to pay the right amount of money, because in football world money talks at the end of the day. And if you think that you're gonna overpay in January but you not gonna overpay in summer, you are as dumb as you look. Because it doesn't matter when you sign a player, you are still going to overpay no matter what. Because the club can name whatever the price they want. And if you pay it, you get him. If you don't, you don't. Ultimately, at the end of the day. There is no actual metric how you determine how valuable actually the player is. Yes, you can look at the club's stature, how big is the club, what that player, how big of the star is the player, the club, at the league and everything. But ultimately, club names a price, you either pay it or you get the F off. That's it. There is no actual metric to say how valuable the player is at the end of the day. You either pay it and you get him, or you don't pay it and you basically are Arsenal at the end of the day. Dude. We had Dennis Bergkamp and they want me to say Odegaard is better than David Silva. Genuinely. There are Arsenal fans on X who are tweeting out that Martin Odegaard is better than David Silva. Hello. But yeah, Bergkamp, dude, that was different level. I still think Sainz. Remember Watkins and Tony were also just championship players. Dude, Tony was just a championship player. Watkins was just a championship player. Andy Robertson was just a championship player at Hull City. Jamie Vardy, he was a non-league player. In 5 years, he was winning Premier League. Remember those days? Arsenal should have won the league that year as well, by the way, when Leicester won it. But Giroud decided for 20 games he doesn't know how to put the ball in the goddamn net. Speaking of that, I would love to have Giroud at the moment at our club. I kid you not, up top, I would love to have Giroud. Bro, Cunha says he loves Arsenal. Why can't we sign him? He loves the club and wants to be a gunner. Osimhen. And like the other players, he generally would like to sign for Arsenal. Osimhen, my favorite. Vardy, still one of my favorite Prem players of all time, dude. The way Vardy bantered Spurs fans and everything and other those, that was class. Genuinely, that was class. But yeah, here it is. Speaking of Cunha, Wolves will not entertain offers for Mateus Cunha in January with Arsenal and Manchester United both interested. And you know, as we all say, all these transfer reports need to be taken with a massive pinch of salt. Because ultimately they are all speculation, nobody knows the truth besides the player, the agents, and more or less the club. Stands to a point. But, let's be real. If you pay the right money, you're gonna get him. Let's not be dumb, let's not beat around the bush. You pay the money, you get him. Just pay the right price. That's about it. at the end of the day. If you want the player, you pay the money and you get him. Like, there is nothing more to add to this. You either pay and you get him, you don't pay, you don't get him. And I don't want that all of a sudden Wolves want, let's just say, 55 million, Arsenal submit, as Arsenal always do, 40 million offer for him, transfer window closes, and the top Gunners will scream, oh, but we tried, 40 million submitted, oh, we tried. That will be the case, 100%. Pay the 65, exactly, pay the price they want and get it done. I would have to go maybe Son for that. Exactly, that is the big thing. And this is the big thing. Mateusz Cunha, right? He's not a winger, he's not a number 10, he's not a striker per se. And Arteta loves those type of players, as you have noticed. Across the front line, besides Saka, arguably, we don't have a player who is a specialist in his position. Because Martinelli plays, well, bench. Left wing, right wing now, okay, cool. Trossard plays left wing, number 9, number 8, number 10, depends. Havertz plays 9, 8, sometimes wings. Jesus, number 9, wing at times. So he is genuinely the perfect player for Mikel Arteta because he doesn't have a designated position. He can play all across the front line pretty much. And that genuinely screams Mikel Arteta to a T, doesn't it? In a way. Knowing the profile type of players, which I hate that word profile, but the way Arteta loves to sign these players. What's worse, the club waiting till the last week to get deals done and it's Rashford on loan, or something stupid, or not getting any deals done in January? It depends, personally, for me. Because if we don't sign anyone in January, that would lead me to believe that Arteta is going at the end of the season, no matter what. That would lead me to believe to that. Especially with Saka injury, and if we don't sign anyone, there's no recovery from that. Let's be real, Arteta is going. That would lead me to believe to that. And if that is the case, arguably, I would be cool with that. Because for me, I won't want Arteta to waste any more money. I much rather sack the manager, get in a new one, and give the money to him and see what he does. Ultimately, at the end of the day. Especially if we get like a massive manager. Like Ancelotti, if he even gets sacked by Real Madrid. Inzaghi from Inter Milan, and managers like that. And I already can hear Nathan typing Gasperini. I already can see him typing that. But yeah. Ultimately, yeah. But if we have to sign someone, you better sign the proper player or you don't sign anyone at all. Because I'm sick and tired of wasting money on mediocre players who are pretty much useless, who are holding the bench, that need 6 years to be integrated into the team, and when they do get integrated into the team, it ultimately comes to a realization that he's not good enough. I much rather not spend any money at all. See? Nathan knows what I'm talking about. He quickly deleted the text Gasperini and just put eye emoji. I already know that. Cunha is just natural ball. Exactly. Arteta can 100% he cannot. Then sign Rodrigo. He can. Yeah, sign Rodrigo. Do you think Arsenal will cough up about 110, 120 million in January? If they are serious, they would, obviously. But let's be real. Dove big hype died so quickly. Well, could say that, but Roma has had, 3 different managers this season. It's not that bad for him, is it? And for 30 million, it's actually not that bad of a deal. 30 million for Dovbyk. Yeah, 30 M's for Girona. 15 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. I think he recently starting to score goals. Yeah, against Parma, goal and assist 6 days ago. He was injured for 2 games. Yeah, but he mostly, he plays full 90 pretty much most of the time, but ultimately, yeah. Oh, but hey, do what Top Gunner says. Give him time. He needs to adjust to the league. He went to Serie A to join Roma. What do you think would happen? Roma has had different managers. They haven't. They're trying to figure things out. Roma are in a bit of a free fall as well, in a way. That is a bit different. Although they're doing pretty decent recently. Cunha, Osman, Rodrigo. Generally, let's go. Cunha, Osman, Rodrigo. 120, 180. You just described like 250 mil of signings. Do you really think Arsenal will do that in January? 250 mil. Mateta on loan January 30th. Oh, I do it. I'm not gonna lie. If it comes to this, I much rather sign Mateta on loan than Marcus Rashford. I'm putting it out there right now. Much rather sign Mateta on loan than Marcus Rashford. However, if there's a possibility of signing Mateta or nobody at all, depending on situation, might actually be nobody at all. As much as I want Arsenal to sign players, they have to be the right players. They need to be needle movers who basically lift the team instantly with instant impact. We cannot afford to sign another Kivior, another Tomiyasu that sits on the bench, needs 6 years to adjust the team, tactics and everything, and when he plays he gets injured and sits in the hospital for next 2 years. I'd pay 210 for Valverde. Ooh. Sell Nelly, Trossard and Zinchenko. Apparently Arsenal are exploring deals to sell Zinchenko and Trossard or Martinelli in summer. Apparently. Yeah, and Real Madrid barely start him. Exactly. But that's a big difference. Starting for Real Madrid, it's a whole different animal, isn't it, to be honest? With Tchouameni, Camavinga, Modric, technically. Who else is there? Of course, Valverde. They cannot Jude Bellingham, who is guaranteed the spot, so they have 2 midfielders alone. So it's very hard for them to start him, especially with the right back issues. I'm kind of surprised that Ancelotti doesn't play him that often as a right back. Although he might be playing. I haven't watched Real Madrid in the last game. Didn't watch. Was he playing? No, Mateta alone, Sar. Anyhow, moving on from Mateusz Cunha, there is some other news we need to talk about. This is a good one. This is one I like very much. Rafael has made it clear he would like to join Barcelona over the likes of Arsenal and Manchester United. Happy days. Not gonna lie. Don't want him at Arsenal anyways. I don't like him at Arsenal anyways. How did we scam second in Prem and third in the youth? I have no idea. Well, to be honest, we're gonna play without Saka. With time will tell. Time will tell whether it's gonna be 1 for all and all for one, as Mikel Arteta likes to PR, or we're gonna drop off. Shit, Nani. Yeah, if Leo only had the tech that Nani possessed, that would be a completely different instance. This one, I'm not sure what you think about this, but I tweeted this out. Obviously, you need to put into the context the fact that we needed time until Skelly gets promoted because he was too young over the last 3 years. But ultimately, Calafiori 45, Zinchenko 35, Tomiyasu 19, Tavares Shade, Kivior 25, Timber 40. Arsenal have spent 172 million on right back, left back, center back, CM position, technically players that can play in those positions, to force them all to play left back due to various reasons, mostly due to injuries and inconsistencies on the left side. And in the end, after in 3 years spending 172 million on left back position alone, Skelly is the answer. Genuinely, Skelly is the answer. I'm not saying that Skelly should have been instantly put in there, but I'm just saying that for 172 mil that we spent, I would say we could have signed a proper left back, for about 50 to 60 million, which would have left us with 100 million plus solely to spend on the attack or on the midfield, wherever you need to spend alone. This was I just put it out there just because, well, we need it. Mostly because of the incompetence, how we have wasted the money, ultimately. Because look, we have sent Calafiori, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Savage, Kivior, Simba. All of these, technically nobody by default, maybe Nuno Tavares alone, right? Maybe Nuno Tavares alone. None of those other players by default are left backs, are they? Calafiori is a center back. Zinchenko is a midfielder. Tomiyasu is a center back slash right back. Well, center back. Kivior is a center back. And Simba is a right back slash center back. Nobody of those players is actually a left back. Besides Tavares, technically. But Tavares also mostly is a left mid slash left wing back in 3/5 at the back as well. So he's not actually a left back. Out and out left back as well. The way we want to play. Utter and total wastefulness in terms of money, in my opinion. Leo, the Portuguese Rashford. Kinda. Skelly is the future, yeah. Skelly is better than Cauliflower as well, and he cost us nothing. Just think about this. We have spent 800 million in transfer windows in 5 years just to rely on corners, right? On corners, and basically rely on players that we have spent no money on whatsoever. Because our sole game relies on a Haaland graduate and Saka, who we didn't pay nothing for technically in the market. We have spent 800 million and we rely on a player who we have not paid anything for. And the other player we rely on technically is a player we signed for what, 20 million? Something like that in Gabriel. That's about it. Gabriel was signed while Arteta was just here, I think. Yeah. So that is the case. Why the hell did we sign Calafiori if we ain't really gonna use him and he plays in a 3 or 5 at the back system where he can... Exactly, that is the case. Calafiori, just like Kivior, just like Tomiyasu, by the way, all three of them play as a center backs in 3 at the back formations. Calafiori and Kivior are left center backs. Tomiyasu is a right side center back. Or he plays right wing back, technically, but he doesn't play that much. Mostly they are center backs. And now what we are doing, we are trying to play them as wing backs, left back slash right back, and invert them into the midfield. In a position that basically, compared to center back or left back even, is night and day incomparable. Like, it makes no sense. Like, genuinely makes zero sense whatsoever. In other news, apparently Milian Skriniar has been made available for £29 million in January. Very sorry. Attracting interest from both Spurs and Arsenal. Question for you all. For 29 million, would you sign Milian Skriniar for center back position cover for Saliba? Would you do that? Because currently the Spurs thing is very interesting because Spurs have 3 or 4 out of their main center backs, all of their main center backs injured pretty much. So that is kind of puts it up in there. But for £29 million, given we spent nearly as much for Kivior, by the way, would you spend that amount of money to sign Milian Skriniar for Arsenal? Skriniar is how old? 29. Ironic, but he's 29, so he's not that old at all. We can genuinely get about 3 good years out of him still. Would you sign Skriniar for 29 million? Calafiori has played CDM before and signed Skriniar up now. Yes, he's a powerhouse and he can score. That's the thing, he can score headers. That's perfect for Joe and Arteta, first of all. 29 million seems kind of very cheap, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, we'll see. It depends, I think, if Kivior goes or not. I kind of think it kind of depends on that. But he's a powerhouse, that is true. I'm not gonna lie, that is true for sure. Yeah, Calafiori has played the number 6. But we don't need a number 6, we have 2 number 6s. Granted, one plays as an 8, one plays as a right back, so what do we know, I guess. and we can rest Saliba more now he won't get in. Exactly. That is the biggest worry for me because, let's be real, after January, when we play 9 games in 31 days, after that comes February, and international breaks start again. International games start again, so that's gonna be fun, isn't it? Yeah, cheap. I'm not sure it would be a great signing, but for 29 million, given how much we spent on Kivior and bums like that, and Fabio Vieira as well, by the way, it wouldn't be the worst option in my opinion. Genuinely, in my opinion, wouldn't be the worst option. I wouldn't be against that. Let's just put it that way. I solely wouldn't be against that. If we sign Skriniar 29 million for 2-year deal or something like that, I would say fair play, decent backup. I would say, yeah, decent backup, and I would roll with that. Genuinely would roll with that. I wouldn't be against it whatsoever. And now we're gonna look at this. First things first. Kieran Tierney would be willing to reject other clubs in favor for a move to Celtic. Okay, cool. Tierney is going to Celtic. That's been talked about 65 years. Here is the big one. Here is the big one. I tweeted out this yesterday. This is Kai Havertz's heat map against Ipswich, right? He started as a left 8 by formation, the way he was playing, but as you can see, he spent most of the time as a right mid / right attacking mid / right wing, something in those lines. Is that Arteta's setup because Saka's injury has basically made him shit the bed and he doesn't know what to do? Or what? Because Havertz was a left 8 and he basically had to run across the whole pitch to get to that right mid spot to help the attack. That is a bit of a worry for me. Because if that is Arteta's solution, I'm already scared to death, I'm not gonna lie. Merino is a 6, he just gets played out of position, he ain't an 8, he's deep like playmaker. How? Yeah, that could be the case. Odegaard is an 8, Merino Rice is a 6 maybe. Well, technically Rice is a monster space invader defensively and disruptor. So playing Rice as a 6 works. If you pair him up with another 8 who is a playmaking with a good passing, well, decent passing like Odegaard, it works like a charm, a quick movement and everything. Then you need again a number 10 who receives the ball, is very direct, moves forward, goes forward, takes on opponents, which in this instance is either Ranieri or, and I still hope on this, Dani Olmo. Play Skelly in the midfield, play Tierney as a left back with Kal as a backup of the bench, and rotate Timber Tomiyasu as a right back and try Zinchenko in midfield. His actual damp. That is the thing. Zinchenko is never gonna play midfield under Arteta, even though he plays that for Ukraine. And I think Zinchenko is leaving in summer. Skelly is not gonna play in the midfield because Arteta said, yes, I know he's a 6 or an 8, but I see him as a left back who inverts. Arteta said that himself, so I don't think he's going to play him in the midfield whatsoever. Because by inverting, he technically is in the midfield, but we need more advanced midfield, I get what you mean. So that's why I think Odegaard in that left 8 role would be perfect, given how high our left 8 pushes. Plus Odegaard likes to run, look busy, track back and everything, so he would be perfect in that role. He's a bit weak for that role, but I think we could manage, especially with Rice as a 6. Now, Tierney is leaving, so he's not going to play whatsoever, even though he's here. The biggest worry is that we are playing Skelly instead of Calafiori, so what was the point spending 45 million on Calafiori if we are playing Skelly in front of him? Which I'm all for. I like having players coming out of the academy, Skelly growing into the team, main team, so quickly and everything, but what was the point in signing Calafiori then? And play when Yeri is a damn right. We could try when Yeri is a right wing. That would be actually quite interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, this is from yesterday, and that really kind of pissed me off because all the Havertz starts as a left 8, yet he somehow finds himself as a right wing. Like, how does that even work out? Odegaard can have more room to carry and shoot the ball at cam. He's like, you mean as a cam or you mean as a number 8? because technically our number 8 pushes up to be the left 10, technically. So that actually could be the place. Bro, you see Maresca playing Cole Palmer as a senior. Yeah, more advanced. It gives Palmer more ability to carry the ball, drive through the midfield, and everything. Odegaard doesn't look like he's good at that, but it will time and see. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, this is the one I wanted to talk about. This is what Bukayo Saka said. And I'm not sure whether he's speaking about himself, about the team, or the fact that Mikel Arteta is a coward. And you're gonna see why. Bukayo Saka said, if you don't take a chance, or if you don't want to take risks, then you limit yourself in terms of success in certain areas. For example, if you don't want to step up to take a penalty, or if you don't want to take a free kick, you will never score them. Well, stands to a point. If you miss all the shots you don't take, that's what Wayne Gretzky said, I think, or Michael Jordan. So that's what I mean. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And that is Alexander Ovechkin's biggest thing. As he said, I am shooting, I'm going to shoot. And he's almost the biggest goal scorer in NHL history. Anyways, the biggest thing I'm taking from this, it's Bukayo Saka about his mindset, the way he steps up, and then how he copes with everything. Basically, that's what this is about. But on some level, I kind of get a feeling that this is also about Mikel Arteta. Because if you don't take a chance or you don't want to take risks, then you limit yourself in terms of success in certain areas. And this is what Arteta is all about. Because he takes no risks, he's limiting players, and he hasn't gotten any success in certain areas, and that means in competitions. And it kind of feels like this first statement by Bukayo Saka is an indirect shot at Mikel Arteta. Because Mikel Arteta is safe, pragmatic, doesn't like to take risks. Arsenal play very safe and predictable football, which now stands to a reason that he has limited the team to a certain play style which he cannot get out of. If we kind of get to a point we cannot find other ways to shoot and score. And yeah, we have limited our success and ball movements forward. It kind of feels that way. It's like low-key Bukayo Saka is directing shots at Mikel Arteta. And I wouldn't be surprised because it's half the time I watch Arsenal play, it feels like some of the players are sick and tired of Mikel Arteta. I kid you not. Odegaard ain't damn CDM or CM. He's an attack midfielder. He can be played out position for 2 years now, bro. Forgot he's... Well, Odegaard technically plays as a 10. Technically. But Odegaard, for me, should start as a left 8. Because the way we're playing, that left 8 pushes up to be a left 10. And then we invert from the left, and that left back becomes an 8, obviously. So, on the top of that, we need a left-footed 10 on the left side. Because we play Rice there, since he plays as a left 8, right? And he's right-footed, and that kind of disrupts the flow of the attack many times. So I strongly believe that playing Odegaard as a left 10, or left 8, who transforms it to left 10, actually would help Arsenal much more in the attack. Especially if we actually had a proper 10 to play on the right side, in that instance. And stop subbing Jesus off. Yesterday his purple patch came off. He only can score against, well, Crystal Palace. You notice, Spurs have scored more goals than is this season. They are in the damn thing. Exactly. Even Spurs can attack. They cannot defend, but they can attack. They genuinely can attack. And let's be real, Arsenal also knew how to attack 2 years ago. And partially in the second part of last season. It's somehow we have all forgotten that. It's like Arsenal have been space jammed. Arteta has made up tactics in a way that kind of restricts players from scoring, attacking, and improving. It's on consistent basis like that. It's not just a one-off game, two-off game. It's a full-on seasons, half seasons that we are moving like that. And it's starting to be very, very concerning. Madsen had more goals than all of our damn attackers That's the thing. The fact that Gabriel was one of our main goal scorers this season already tells us something, isn't it? Look at this. Premier League table. Premier League table. Let's still. What is this defense? No, exactly, dude. United are 14th. That's first of all, dude. But yeah, Arsenal. Look, 18 games, 35 goals. 35 goals. So on average, we score almost, well, be 1 goal less, besides 1 goal, 2 goals a game. We concede 1 goal a game on average, more or less, like adding up and everything, all that crap in mass. You know. Right? So we score 2, concede 1. But that is not the way to play the game, is it? You score as much as you can and you concede. Because those 35 goals is a bit misleading. If we don't score those 5 against Crystal Palace, it would be kind of a bit bleak as well, wouldn't it? But we digress, we don't talk about that. But ultimately, just look. Just look at this. Chelsea have more goals. Liverpool have more goals. Spurs have second best attack in the league. Spurs have second best attack in the league, mind you. 39 goals. They concede like no tomorrow, but we are where we are. But ultimately, look at this. Look at this. Nottingham Forest have 34 points. They have scored 11 goals less, and yet they're still next to us. Ironically enough, if you look at top 5, or top 4 for example, top 4, look at top 4, right? Only team without Champions League trophy is Arsenal. Liverpool has, Chelsea has, Forest goddamn has, Arsenal don't. Ironically enough, Arsenal is the only team up there in top 4 who doesn't have a Champions League trophy, ironically enough. Make that as what you will. Gabriel has more goals than 90% for our attackers, only Saka and Havertz. Exactly. We need to get better strikers, more clinical strikers, not just strikers, attackers in general. We need to freshen up our attack as a whole. And we just are not doing that currently. We are 3 days away, well, technically 3 days away from transfer window opening. And let's see, because first week of transfer window will show if Arsenal are serious. First week, week and a half. Because if by first week and a half we haven't signed anyone, there's big chance that we are not signing anyone as well. If you have, at the moment, have like 1%, 2% hope that we're going to sign someone, if in the first week, week and a half we don't sign anyone, we are not going to sign anyone. Maybe on loan some random pleb, that's about it. And Spurs said even that damn Alvarez. Forest was in the 17th place last season, now they're damn top 4 and have UCL. This is exactly. Chelsea are 1 point behind us. Forest are 2 points behind us. Ultimately, we are 6 points behind Liverpool. It's actually wild. It is actually wild. It's kind of mad when you come to think of this and when you look at the table. When you genuinely look at the table. Arsenal have conceded 16 goals. Best defense in the league again. That's what top Gunners are focusing on, by the way. Arsenal have the best defense in the league. 16 goals conceded. It's all cool and fine when you don't concede, but how about you score? That is the big issue. You know, you're against Brighton, Everton, seems like that. Bournemouth, by the way. Next week, if I don't see player coming into the Emirates, we ain't buying. That's the thing. That's how I'm feeling. If we don't sign anyone in the first week, week and a half of January transfer window, I don't think we're going to sign anyone as well. Maybe a loan at best. We're going to turn into defense and no attack and trophies FC if we don't... Yeah. We will finish top 4. I think that most likely is going to happen this season. But that will be about it. Because we have Newcastle in Carabao Cup draw. Newcastle currently are flying. Genuinely flying. Like 11 goals in the last 3 games or 13 goals in the last 3 games. Something like that. They're flying. That will be hell. Next games against Brentford away. Brentford are very well at home, although they just lost 2-0 against Forest at home. But their Brentford are the best record away at home, I think, still. Then we have Brighton away as well. Brentford away, Brighton away. Then we have Newcastle at home and Man United at home. It will be hell. Loan FC when it was. Oh, we cannot loan players in, by the way. I forgot about that. We actually cannot loan players in because we have, at least from Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, because we have 2 Premier League players loaned in already. We have Sterling and we have Neto. 2 loans is a max, if I'm not mistaken. We actually cannot even loan in players from Premier League. There was something about that rule, I remember reading it. So, I guess it is what it is. We are actually not signing anyone. Wait, let me check. Premier League clubs may not register more than 2 players on loan at any one time. The maximum number of loans registerable in the same season is 4. And under no circumstances shall more than 1 be from the same club at any one time. So technically, yeah, we can't play that crap. We can play it against Brentford and Brighton, worse against the... Time will tell. We will have to wait and see when we play Brentford, when we play Brighton, and when we play Newcastle. Newcastle is gonna be hell on earth, but we'll see. I think it's gonna be pain, and some more pain. It's gonna be long 2-3 months. Finish the ball back in the net of the Dan. If we only had someone who could do that on a consistent basis, that would be nice. But anyhow, I think on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for chilling, commenting. Hope you're having a great time. Tomorrow's the 29th. We're closing in the end of 2024. We're almost there. We are genuinely almost there. But yeah, for today, that will be it from me. So like, comment, subscribe, hit the thing, do everything, share it around. Hope you had a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. And well, enjoy your evening. That's about it. Stay safe and have a good time.